Ta-da! Welcome to Hello Chaos, the show where founders, innovators, and chaotic minds get real, get unfiltered about the mess, the magic, and mayhem of entrepreneurship. I am Jennifer Sutton, or JJ, as my friends and family call me, and fellow work in progress. And today we have Monique Elliott. She is the CEO of S.A.V.Y, which is success achieved when visioned by you. So amazing, Monique. Thank you for coming on the show. And I cannot wait to hear your perspective and how you got started down this path.
Jennifer, I want to just thank you for having me on, and I count it a delight. So whatever you need to ask, whatever we need to say, we're just going to keep it real.
I love it. And you're calling out of Phoenix, Arizona, right?
Correct.
Oh, beautiful country.
Yes,
I'm on the East Coast, and I think it's hot in both of our areas.
I know it is.
It's like 100
I know.
degrees.
Yes, yes.
Are
Oh
you
my
guys
gosh.
indexing over 100 yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I got excited when I saw 96 when I went outside.
at 7 a.m. or something. Well, start us out. How did you, get into entrepreneurship? What inspired you to start your own company? Tell us what in the world made you do something as crazy as that.
And it is,
It
right?
is.
Literally, my ex-husband and I were living in New Orleans at the time.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and I have worked for years in mental health settings, school
Mm,
settings. So that just, that's a permanent job in the sense of always
you
you're going to have children, right? There's going to be
right.
kids and there's going to be people in need, and not to take that lightly, but it just is, right?
Yeah,
There'll be
yeah.
people in need.
It's a thankless job. People must
Yeah,
have the
both, right?
both.
Both of those. But I love it. I loved it. And in that, I remember the first time that I changed what type of mental health I did. And I want
Mm,
to talk about that real quick.
yeah,
Is because
please.
I got jealous of my kids and my husband being off in the summertime. I was
You're like, wait a minute.
thinking to be off all summer. I was going in, I get the weekend and could take 2 weeks off, but I wanted my whole summer. Long story short, I ended up going back to school for a year, and that
Mm,
was a plus on top of my degree. And I was able to get in the school system. So I,
yeah.
started going with them.
You're like,
But
I like that. You're like, I like the schedule, which is just a little side note. My daughter, who's now 24, when she went into college for early education, and we all knew, like her counselors in high school, everybody was like, no, you have a mind for business management, numbers, and you really don't have the temperament for for early education. Oh no. And I was like, Sophie, why do you want to do that? And she's like, Mom, the schedule. Like, I love their, and I was like, girl, that is not like, she did one internship at a school and
uh-huh,
changed her major going into her junior year of college and went
I
into business
bet,
management.
I
Because she
bet
was like,
it is.
I said, why do you want to do that? She was like, oh, she goes, Mom, it's the adult. I love the kids. It's the adults I have to that watching the other I had to deal with other teachers, the parents, the administration. She was like, that's not for me.
Yeah,
Like,
I get it. It was a good setting. I was not actually running from that setting at all. It When entrepreneurship hit me, and I say hit me because my father, when he retired, went into entrepreneurship,
mm,
but I did not per se grow up with it just all of
yeah,
the time around
I
me
didn't at
because
all. It was
you're right,
foreign to me. Oh, yeah,
because we're literally taught, right?
yeah,
You work 9 to 5 or whatever your shift is, and that's
that's
your
your
bread
thing,
and butter,
right?
right? Yes. So when we moved, something came over me. I actually woke up. This I had a dream, and my company's name was Savvy. I literally had a dream, and my
Right.
company's name was Savvy. And I was asking in prayer and meditation, why is it Savvy? What does that stand for?
Right.
And I feel that God said, you're going to help people achieve their dreams.
Ah.
And I got so excited. That's where vision comes in. I got so excited about that,
Mm.
that I could take my profession and move it to another area and and
Yeah.
do another level. And the amazing part of that is I used to not work with adults. So I'm laughing at your daughter, baby. I'm smiling because I love the teenage population. People didn't even like the teenage population. Most of the time, they wanted the little ones, but teenagers are honest. They're just going to tell you how it is.
Yep.
And I love that about working with them. And I thought, oh, I'll never do therapy with grown folk. I'll never do counseling with a boy, was I wrong. I'm smiling, going, I
The
cannot believe, Jennifer, that I'm even telling you over 10 years, almost 15 now. I have
Wow.
worked not exclusively, but primarily with adults and just helping their visions happen.
Wow.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
going forth in literally most of the time it's entrepreneurship. People are going through transitions
Mm.
in their life and they're not knowing why they're feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I call
And
it
it's
in the
funny how
skin
our
you're in.
bodies, the physiological effects of when you're not in your right space.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. And it doesn't mean, and I want every your listeners to know this. It doesn't mean you're not in your right fit forever. So what I
Right.
mean by that, I believe we go through transitional
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
And there is a time that what you were doing fit you, but I want you to understand this. There will always be some type of connection of learning. So
Mhm.
don't think you've wasted your time for those years in whatever field. There's
No.
something you were supposed to learn. I was
I
supposed to
I
learn.
mean, I spent 25 years in, corporate agency space and don't regret that at all. And, I started my company in my 40s. So I was, uh, 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 an abnormal, I think. Now I see it, it's very normal. But at the time, I was like, I didn't look like most entrepreneurs. Um, Now I see the bigger spectrum and I'm like, no, there's a lot of people that are like me. But yeah, it wasn't natural to me. It never was a desire. Everyone has to go through their own journey. What is it? The saying, it's like things happen for either a reason, a season, or a blessing.
There it is.
Um,
There it is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in that of everything happens for a reason. Well, this episode of Hello Chaos is brought to you by Bright Marketing, a curiosity driven full service agency that has designed a business model specifically for small to mid sized businesses. Bright is a full service agency that crawls, walks, then runs alongside a business, providing CMO level strategy combined with an execution team. They find the friction in a business and brand, whether it's in brand, in marketing, or advertising, and then deliver on the activities to eliminate, smooth out the frictions so that the company accelerates growth. We came out and saw the gap of knowledge, the gap of resources from a full service where we find the friction, we build the playbooks, we create the plans and create the consistencies in brand, and then we work on where we need to show up from an advertising perspective. And as we are building the advertising program, we're also looking to see how do we create the marketing engine, the ecosystem, and kind of build that the program so the business is scalable and it accelerates growth.
Right.
Yeah.
And even after I received okay, so I didn't know how to start.
So you had this dream.
Right. It got,
How quickly after the dream did you actually start your business? Was it like a few years later because you were like, how do I manifest this? What does this mean? Or was it like the next day?
No, it wasn't even a manifestation, meaning I do believe in manifesting, but I wasn't manifesting anywhere, any kind of way. I woke up, girl. I was like this, Jennifer. What? I mean, I woke up and and I love to write. So I am, I'm an author as well. So I do enjoy writing, but I'm smiling. I have my journal that's next to me. So I woke up and wrote down the acronym and then figured out what that means. And
Oh,
I actually thought that that portion of it was going to be more for the teenagers, even though I still work with them, but it
right.
was something else. It was morphing. So I was talking to friends and I said, okay, I have a business idea. I don't even know where to start. And I started looking up, and I don't think Google was as popular then. So I
Mm-mm.
was on the internet, but pretty much really asking people. So I want to say, don't be afraid to ask around.
Right.
If you know a friend that has a business or anything, just ask them. You don't have to start from scratch.
Well, and also in almost every community, and I don't think people, I didn't know this until years after I started the business, but most cities, most communities have two organizations, SCORE, and I don't know what the acronym is for SCORE, but it's, SCORE. They are there to help entrepreneurs start and then the SBDC, which is the SBA, which is a
Hmm.
government or federal government agency that is for supporting and amplifying small business and helping with, lending and rates and regulations and all that for small business. But every community has a what they call SBDC, a small business development center. Um, like South Carolina, we have like every major city has one, has a center. So there's like over 100 counselors in our state, and most states have. In South Carolina, small, but most state has like hundreds of counselors that will sit one on one and help you with your paperwork, help you figure out should you be an LLC or an S corp. They'll help you figure out like your, getting your books structured. I mean, it's like, and it's free. It is a free resource. I didn't know they existed. And I don't know if I would have been, even when I did hear about them a few years after, I was intimidated. I was thinking, oh, they're not going to, I've already started my business or whatever, but I didn't realize they will help people until they kind of shift away once you've hit 2 or 3 million,
Hmm.
um, or at least definitely over the million, revenue mark. I mean, there's companies that are, decades in their business before they even hit the million. So
Right.
go to them. It is such a rich resource that's completely free, and they are there to help small businesses people get started in whatever. So shout out. I always like, because that's not known.
No, because I sure didn't know it. I would
I,
I would have hopefully, I think I would have read to them.
yeah,
It
like,
definitely because trying to figure out what
oh,
tax, bracket not bracket per se, but what tax, entity to do my business in,
yes.
all of
And
that
how to
was just
structure it, or should I even file for, do I have to have a city, like, to help navigate, do I need to get a city license, or do I, is just having a state license okay? If I operate in other states, do I have to get a, license, um, business license there? And it can start adding up, when you're like, can I just
yes.
operate? Like, so, uh, and like I said, it was, I think I was 5 to 8 years after I'd started the business that I even knew of these places.
No, I believe that.
Um,
I'm right with you. I
yeah,
was the same, and I actually wasn't really operating yet. Remember, it took me about
yeah,
4 years. It took me about 4, and at that point, I still was working my full-time
right.
job for
Which is
me.
very, very, some people work
Mhm.
decades before they get their, you know, I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to quit my job. And
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the scary part. Oof.
It was really scary.
Yeah.
And talking about chaos, right?
Right.
So I moved forward and we actually moved to Michigan. And so when we moved to Michigan, I had a different position, was became a trainer of trainers. So I began to
Okay.
train principals and just just on
Okay.
different levels of
Yeah.
training them. And it so happened, I remember that summer, there is in New Orleans, because we used to live there. In New Orleans, there's something called the Essence Fest, and so
Yes.
so I'm there with my little sister. I call her little sister. She's been in my life for over 25 years, and so she goes, Monique, I was thinking you need to just have your own practice. You need to just go out on your own and do your own business. And I was like, "What made you think of that?" Jeannie. But remember, I still had
Right.
this in my head, but I really wasn't doing anything with it. Let's put it that way. Literally, when I got home, a friend, and she wasn't really even a friend. She had heard about me. I don't even know how she heard I was a therapist because I didn't practice therapy there. I worked in the schools,
Right.
and she goes, "I need you to see my son." And I'm looking at her and I go, "I tell you I was a therapist," and so end up happening is two strands. So literally at the same time,
Mm.
Jennifer, I was new to this district. And so when I would train, one woman had come up to me and she said, if you ever do something outside of the school system that's
Mm.
with training or anything,
Yeah.
I want to attend. I want to come. And so started thinking, well, heck,
Oh, the signs. He-
yeah,
Yep.
I was
You were given signs.
given signs, right? Simultaneously, like I'm
Yep.
saying. And so I began to research on one portion, what would it take for me to start a private practice?
Mm.
But then on the other hand, I thought, well, I've been doing so much of this. Let me put a program together. And I put a program together like that,
Like
honey,
a
for
master class kind of a thing, or
yes.
okay,
So I
okay.
put a class together called S.A.V.Y, of course, S.A.V.Y Vision, but I put a class to help you reach your goals.
Hmm.
And so there were 15 women that just wanted to be there.
Wow.
They signed up. I didn't know who was going to come, whatever. And the amazing part is all of the manifestations that started happening for these women. And at the same time, I turned the manual into a book, a, a book, right? And I started writing a book. I'd never written a book in my life, Jennifer. I started writing a book. So I end up having three projects. I opened up for it was 3 days a week on the side, private
Wow.
practice therapy while I was working full time. I ran 6 week groups, so I would run them for 6 weeks, and they just started morphing and taking off. And I tell you the excitement of that because the first book I ever wrote was called My Sister's Arms, and it just talks about the times that sisters and not my biological sisters, but women in my community would just appear when I was going through situations.
Hmm.
They would just be there. Long story short, I'm now having a book signing. So all of this in a 1 year period, right? This 1 year
Wow.
S.A.V.Y is morphing without say, yes, I thought about it, but I
Just
thought about it
organically.
while we were going along, right?
Yeah.
And part of entrepreneurship is not waiting once it's going. So let's put it this way. To me, once signs or things are morphing, we are starting many of us from scratch. It's
Yep.
scary. It is scary because you feel like I'm going to mess up. What in the heck is this thing? And it works. People need what you have.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, people
validating. Like,
need it.
hey, because that's what entrepreneurship is and foundership. I see there's a gap in the marketplace of I have this gift, I have this offering, I have this service or product,
Yeah,
and I'm feeling I'm solving people's problems, or I'm helping to achieve I call it the gains that
yeah.
you know you can either ease somebody's pain or you can achieve somebody's a gain for them. And yeah, it's so validating when um you people are buying what you have to offer and validating that you are solving, that you belong in the marketplace.
You know what? That's
Yeah,
what it is. And I want us to keep thinking, and when you look at someone and you immediately go, "Ah, that can't happen for me," please dismiss that thought.
right,
Why not you? Why not me? They're human beings. All of us are human beings.
right,
And we have to begin to understand, don't count yourself out. And sometimes we do it before we even put our toe in the water.
right, right,
Before we even begin to put our toe in the water, we count ourselves out. I want to empower you and say, go for it
right. And
because
you
we
are gonna
need you.
and you are gonna face those moments of doubt. I mean, you like they call it imposter syndrome or whatever, but that's normal. Like we all
It's
face it.
normal.
It's normal. Don't let that fear, because it is crippling. I mean, I've been there.
Oh, it is.
Oh, the
I've
the
been
fear
there.
can be, and the anxiety and all that. It can be crippling, and I've had to overcome a lot, to do that. But find find your cheerleaders, find your community. But you, we all have it in us to just move forward, do that baby step, make make a um, make a challenge. Like that's what helped me. I make a challenge for myself of like,
Oh,
all
I
right,
love it.
I'm going to do, uh, you know, 40 bold acts in 40 days, or I'm going to do this for
Oh,
30 days, or I'm going to do this for this quarter. And if I focus on it for this quarter, once you kind of, it becomes a habit. And then you
I love
find,
it.
um, and joy is a word that comes up in my vernacular, in my world of like, I'm always, we got to find your joy, right? Everyone's got to find their
Yes.
joy, find their purpose. Everybody's journey is
Passion.
passion.
Yeah, yeah.
And 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 some might find, it's not in entrepreneurship, but their passion is to go find whatever their organization or um, their alignment with who they need to team up with, um, or what community they need to be a part of to really feel that fulfillment.
Absolutely.
Because I do know that entrepreneurship and found is not for everybody. It's a
No.
grit and a grind, and it does take um, that kind of uh, energy that it's not a this is not a 9 to 5, or it's not a you know it's not really a gig. You can find gigs, but you're not gonna um, really grow and scale of because it's because somebody was like, what do you do? I'm like, well, you have to keep filling your pipeline. Like you have to constantly, and then if you add staff, that's you worry about providing
How they are
security
and
and
providing for
for
them.
them. And
Yes,
I was
we
like, it
do.
just kind of goes and so if you don't have that
Mhm.
temperament, you know, um,
Mhm.
but if you even think it, you probably want to try it and see if you have it. Don't deny yourself the ability to at least try.
That's what I wanna say, try, and you can try on different levels.
Yeah.
You can try on different levels, and what does that mean? If it's not working, pivot,
Yeah.
but still stay in your passion. If
Yeah.
it and don't think you're a failure,
No.
because this I'm telling you, it was totally different while I was married. So my entrepreneurship started going full scale while I was married, and then in the midst, I got a divorce.
Mm,
And I'm telling you, the mental, strain and thinking of, "Oh
the
my gosh, am I supposed to do this?"
the
Because it's
doubts.
different when there's 2
Yeah,
incomes.
right.
It's totally different with 2 incomes.
Well, and a
It
support system that's built in.
Yes, and
Yeah,
a support system. And it wasn't easy when I was married, meaning it still was a chance. It wasn't like someone was just completely taking care of me. No, we were in this
right.
together. So he said, I remember my ex-husband saying, 6 months, huh? You got 6 months because when we moved, my husband's job moved us about every 6 years. And so
Right.
when we moved, I said a prayer, Jennifer, and I said,
Mm,
God, you told me I could go full time entrepreneurship. You told me I would not have to work for anyone
right.
the rest of my life. Because by then it was my passion. I loved
Yeah,
my flexibility and everything. I still had my job, but I could feel myself already knowing how to morph into this full time.
right.
And Jennifer, when we moved, it was amazing how things started falling. It's because I made up my mind.
Yep,
I think it's so important that inside of you, you make up your mind. When you made up your mind that this is what I'm going to do or I want to do,
just
what starts happening is you put all your energy in it,
that's right. And guess what?
all
That
of your
energy
energy.
meets you
Yeah,
and finds you. Yep, totally
yeah.
believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that energy was the momentum was coming, but guess Imma tell you, Imma make you laugh, I got scared. So what ended up happening is I had a fear moment, did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, went and worked for someone. I went and worked for someone, and that lasted less than 3 months because it was so horrible. It was so horrible that I thought, "Okay, I'm gonna do what I said I'm gonna." I
That's right.
couldn't, yeah, I could not take it, literally.
Was it a startup, kind of another entrepreneurial organization, or was it back like in the school system?
No, it was like another entrepreneurial,
Which
uh
to me, that probably gave you some lessons of
yes.
of this is not what I want to structure, whether it's management and
Mhm.
personality or onboarding or whatever. To me, that was probably, a great lesson of a
S
stepping stone.
Exactly, a lesson, right?
Yeah.
And I love how you said a stepping stone, and it was both. I love the people, but I'm telling you the managerial style, all of that,
Yeah.
and when I was finished, I literally said to myself, and then I said it out loud, "I am the best boss I've ever had.
You're
I am
like, I'm awesome.
I'm awesome because I love me in the sense of I want good things for the people that are coming into my world.
Mm,
I know how to treat me, you know, I really promote that for entrepreneurs as well. Don't overwork yourself either. Don't
yeah.
kill yourself
We've heard
working for
that.
yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do it. You weren't doing that for others. And if you're sick, find a way to begin to scale so you can take off sick days
Mm,
if you need to. We have to build this into the structure. So those were some of my ahas, Jennifer, for
y-
me,
y-
even learning entrepreneurship. It
what do you do to like for your own mental health? I'm like, we've heard all sorts of, some people journal, some people bike every day, walk, go to the gym. There was somebody we talked to that they do massages every single week. Um and not the, what was it, not the 60-minute. They're like, I do the 90-minute massage. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I need to do more of that. I don't do weekly, nor daily. I do more monthly things. And
Mhm.
that's going to be my second quarter, going into my third quarter challenge of I'm doing, I'm going to do weekly something. I haven't determined yet, and daily something. I haven't determined yet, but I got to give myself a challenge.
Yes, I love it. Well, one thing that I do when I'm coaching love and working with individuals, and remember, it's not just for entrepreneurship, it's also for uh, learning how to go the next level in your
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
right? And so I help you with 31 days of love of
Oh,
myself. Yeah, so loving on yourself for 31 days.
not 30. You're like, let's do 31.
31 because some months have 31.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so being able to literally, and I will do a couple right now.
Yeah.
One thing I love and I want you to be able to do, so listen up everybody.
Okay. Okay.
Get you a self-care basket. And this basket is only for you. If you've got children, they can make one. You can have them literally make a self-care basket
For themselves or for me?
for themselves. For themselves,
I got 4
yes.
kids. I think they should need to make me 4 baskets is what I'm.
Yes, no, honey, you have to make the basket because
Okay.
it's what you love, Jennifer.
Oh,
And some of my clients, they're so cute. They said their children, when they made their own basket, their children were saying, "We want one." So they had already wanted to get it.
well, I know
And
my youngest, she will be all into this.
yes, and so I'll tell you some of the things in my self-care
Yeah.
basket. I have adult coloring books. So I have
Yeah.
adult coloring books with my own markers, my own crayons. It's almost like going back to what I loved as a child as well. I have fragrance in there, lotions that are just something I enjoy. The fragrance of it. So you want to hit your senses.
Yeah.
So there are things you want to do. If you love to crochet, have your crochet, have your yarn or what have you right there. If you love to read, have a special book that is just for that basket.
Hmm.
I say have a playlist. So even though most of our playlists are on the phone, just put in on there, just have a journal and put in there, play your favorite list.
Yeah.
Because what's happening, oh, and I also have candle. So I have a special candle that I have in there just to light. What it does is no matter where you are, Jennifer, you can relax yourself.
Hmm. Do you pull this
You
out daily
It
or just
depends on
whenever you need it? Okay.
whenever I need it, whenever I need it. And I don't make it a must. So we have to even be careful in our goals and in, okay, there are different types of goals. Let's put it that way.
Right.
There are the goals I want to get done for my work, for my entrepreneurship, right? Meaning for the job. But
Right.
then there are things I want to honor myself with.
Hmm.
I want to do. There, a museum. I love museums. I love art. I love plays. I love dancing. So you were asking, what is something that I've incorporated since my divorce and everything has been to go out dancing,
Nice.
just dancing. So finding places that I feel comfortable in. They might have live music, they may have a DJ. And I mean, I have so much fun. I make most of the time I'll ask one of my friends and we're going out together. It's really having friendship time as well.
Right.
You have to nurture those. You have to nurture the things that you want to enjoy.
Yeah.
It doesn't always come automatically. You have to make time.
That's right.
You have to make time to nurture your spirit. And that's important. It's so important.
I
And
agree.
these things don't cost a lot of money. That's why I make that gift bag that you give yourself, that
Mm.
basket, I call it. Make it simple and fun just for you. We're not having enough fun.
Yeah.
We're not
Well,
laughing enough.
and I think we've lost kind of a sense of community. And the community can be a small group. I mean, it can be as, whatever, but yeah, the relationships. Um, I mean, I had those aha moments, about 4 or 5 years ago of like, I'm not investing enough with people that, are in my circle.
Yes.
You've lost touch, you get older, everyone has
Yeah.
kids. It's like, how do we, um, reinvigorate
Connect.
so and engage and um build more like deeper, not surface level, but to also have some deeper conversations and relationships and really get to know people. um
That's it.
yeah,
Jennifer, so you won't forget this. All of us most of us have a palm, right?
yeah,
And I believe that this is what I call my inner circle of friends. So I have an inner circle, and they, I always tell my daughters, for me, there's three people in my life, and if anything ever happened to me, they'll tell you all the secrets. They'll tell you everything since forever about your mom, right? And then I have this circle, and all these circles can be family, have family in it, but
right,
also friendships, right? And in this circle, they know me, but not like the people here. And that
right,
doesn't mean I'm being phony with them or anything. It's just a different level. And here, these are the people that I'm meeting and coming in and out of my life in my right here in the
right.
fingertips. And so guess what? There are times people literally you from your fingertips can move into your palm,
Oh,
meaning
absolutely.
our friendships, our relationships, they grow, they come and
They
go,
evolve. Yeah,
they evolve. And so it's not the issue of just letting people go out of your life. No, it's just there are different moments at times for
right.
different situations.
That's right. A reason, a season, or a
Yes.
blessing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I have a friend that says that, and she's another founder in the community. She said that she describes her circles. She's got 7 rings.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, why? So I don't know. She had this whole theory of like the 7, and she's like, you're in the inner. Um,
Mhm.
but I was like, I am, I'm like, I felt honored because I always thought I would have been in an outer circle.
Right.
But she had, some health issues, and she was like, okay, these people, they look like they're, in the rung, the inner, but they're not. They're in the outer 7, or the 6 or 7. So they're not allowed, here's my boundaries for them. And I was like, that is so I talked to her for hours about her theories of how
Yes.
but she was like, people, as you learn and evolve and grow, people present themselves that maybe you didn't, and she was like, you know what, I'm not sure we align. And especially as, with women and entrepreneurship and it's, sometimes our friends and family don't know us. Like, there's not safe spaces for us to really be vulnerable or to have some of that
Yes.
understanding. So, and that's how, we kind of described it as, people got moved to the outer ring, still
Yes.
good friends and relationships, but they're not going to get some conversations, or not, not going to be able to support in ways that others, would be able to support. So it's just, it's fascinating. I was like, you need to write a book on like your the 7 rings or something like.
Love it. I love that
Uh,
idea.
but yeah, I totally understand, and yeah, when I look back at, like, you know, I've got friends that still very close with, that I went to
Yes.
elementary school, um,
Same here.
and college and high school, and even like our group circle. They're ones that, I'm closer to now, but because we have, um, situations and things
Mhm.
that are more relatable than the others. It's just so, yeah, the dynamics will constantly involve. And I am, one of my challenges for myself a few years ago was to kind of re-engage with people, not that. you kind of hang out in Facebook or whatever, but you're like, "Ugh, you know, I'm just going to send a DM, go, I really admire what you're doing.
I
This
love
is
it.
this was a childhood friend. I grew up, so I live in South Carolina, but I grew up in North Carolina, moved to then my family moved to Indiana, and I spent more of my adulthood in Indiana and then moved back to, but I one of my childhood lives not that far away from here, and I didn't know that. Like a few years ago, I'm like, God, she just lives like 40 minutes from
Uh-huh.
me.
Isn't that amazing?
And just I've been watching her journey, on people post on Facebook, and so I
Yeah.
just reached out to her. Now we talk like once a week.
I
A
love
few
it.
years ago, and kind of re-engage because we have so much in common. But she was like, "Good Lord, where have you been for 30 years?"
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I literally haven't, other than like we re-engaged 2 years ago. The last time I talked to her, I was 12.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
before,
Yes.
it was just, and we talk nonstop now.
I
I
love it.
mean, it's just, but I
I
would have
love
never
it.
reached out. It was like, I just need to, I need to get out of my, and just do a little DM.
There it is.
Little,
It's intentional, right?
yeah.
So there are times we have to be intentional, and I also wanna say we have to practice not getting in the other person's or thinking we're in the other person's mind.
Yes.
So what that means is they haven't reached out to me in a year or 2. They don't
Right.
wanna be bothered. We begin to
We,
think for the other person and
right.
all of these
And
things.
it's just like, show kindness. I mean, that's what was so crazy of when I reached out. She was like, I can't believe, and we just kind of exchanged some stuff. She was like, I can't believe that she goes, you just can't imagine the, the impact your message had. It hit me at the right time. I needed to hear what you had to say, and it helped me move forward. And so then it became, oh, I'm going to do that more, I'm just,
Yeah,
if I see something now and I'm like, and it's, trying to lift other women, or, and I do this across the board, any friends, but more when like you can see sometimes or read into what they're posting or what they're maybe holding back, just like, hey, that was a really cool, what you're doing. And, just wanted to give you a cheerleading moment, high five or whatever.
I
And it's
love that.
amazing when I get, or I'll send a text if I, if they're in my phone. And, but it's crazy how, when you have those moments and you're right, you're like, should I do it? Should I send a message or
I
should I
know,
send a
cause some
card?
yes,
And then,
because
but the
sometimes
impact that you get of like the people are like, I'm so grateful that you like, I needed that. People need to do more of that. Um,
yes, yes, all of us, right? So could you imagine if every one of us well, I'll tell you something else to do. Write 2 friends down. Just write their
right,
names down once a week. It could be a different friend a week, okay? 2 friends a week. And there might be one you wanna call or just send a text and said, "I was thinking about you. I'm hoping you're okay."
right.
And remember, they can be any place in your palm. I mean, it could
Anybody,
be anybody.
right?
And, I have learned to pay attention to this as well for myself. Jennifer, if anyone crosses my mind and it's strong, there's a strong
Yeah,
sense of
you need
like,
to reach out.
I reach out.
Yep,
I have stopped ignoring that.
yep.
I reach out now and
We
just
are
say,
on the
"Hey, are
same
you good?"
journey. I like,
Yeah.
yeah, because that was an aha a couple years ago of like, and when you do it, um, the first time and you get the, "Ugh, I needed that. I need that." Then
Yes,
it's like, "Oh, man, I put a smile on somebody else's face."
absolutely.
It becomes really infectious and
Yes,
contagious to wanna do more of that. Um,
yes,
and you might have people that you're kind of admiring way out here, in your sphere of, I've now started to do, like, I'll send cards to entrepreneurs or other founders or business leaders that I really admire what they're doing, or, their voice, or the work, the impact that they're having.
Mhm.
And, maybe once a year, I'll just send a little card. Some I never hear, back, but
Yeah,
others, it's like somebody up here now they're kind of they're getting into my,
there it
more
is.
inner circle that,
There, yes,
okay, now we're having conversations, and it could be, via email or even text or just still in social kind of DMs, but it is kind of you're building community just by because you never know when somebody does need a cheerleading moment, um,
yes.
in their life, uh, and or just uh, hu- a human touch.
Human touch, there it is.
Yeah.
And in entrepreneurship, it can get lonely
Oh, it's so
sometimes.
lonely. Yeah.
It can get lonely, especially if you work from home or from an office space that you don't have a large staff or what have you. So I really encourage everyone, go out, whatever your out is,
Mm,
uh, invite someone.
yeah.
Sometimes we just need an invitation.
That,
We're assuming a
mm,
person may not want to do it before we even ask.
right. We're like,
Sometimes we
oh, they don't
just
want
need,
to do that. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
We need to do more of
Hmm.
that. I need to do more of that. That might be another 40-day challenge or a 31-day challenge.
Yes.
I do. I did a 40-day around Lent. That was my bold acts, my Lenten bold acts.
Okay.
The 40 days leading up to Easter was my,
Yes.
but then it became contagious. Like, oh, it's like, oh, I love this. This is great. I need to continue. Became a habit. So what did you discover most about yourself during like your biggest ahas?
Man, I discovered that I can cry and yell and get up and keep going. So that it didn't completely take me out
Right.
because
Yeah. We are
sometimes
resilient.
yes, I learned I had more resilience than I ever knew. Definitely. So that's something I learned about myself. I learned that I can live without a lot of things,
Mm,
meaning to reach the plans that I have for myself and for my legacy.
mm.
I can sacrifice for today to make it happen the way I need it for tomorrow.
That's a good
And
lesson.
so
Yeah.
you start realizing, especially the older you get, you start realizing, I don't even do that much anymore. I don't wear that anymore. You start becoming more minimalist than you thought you were, truthfully.
Right.
And not even just because of sacrifice. At a point, y- you're like, I don't need all this stuff. It just starts happening around you. And I found that I want to create more experiences for myself and for others.
Mhm.
So not only for my family, but all of the people that even come through me, whether that be in my conferences because I do conferences and or whether that also be in my one-on-ones, whatever that looks like, people always over things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you just woke up and you're this greedy person. That's not even what that's about. You just started realizing, I want to spend more time. So, where do I want to put my resources? And your resources are, yes, monies, but it's also your time. Where
Energy.
do I want to
Right.
put
I call
my
it time,
energy?
money, resources.
That's it.
It's the investment, that you have for
Yes.
your business. And because I think a lot of times we, as founders and business owners, we're like, okay, I need to hire this. And it's like, okay, you know, even how you hire or the tools that you purchase or
Mm-hmm.
the energy you'll need to spend to
Yes.
learn or create the systems, it is all of that, like, and there is a value to that.
Yes.
And yeah, and we think of
Absolutely.
money and time differently. Have
You're
you That was kind of a big lesson learned for me, was if I'm billing out at like $300 an hour,
right.
I don't have time to, um, do, these tasks. I can get somebody at $10 an hour to do these tasks. because if I have to stop and do those tasks for 5 hours,
Correct.
I can't do the $300 an hour tasks that bring income in.
That's it.
And I don't, and it's things that I don't have the energy for. It wipes me out to be able to do more of this on this side. And that was, I think, like year 1 or 2, I started, calculating, like, oh, this is where I need to, where do I need to prioritize my time? Where do I need to prioritize my energy? And what do I need to delegate on things to preserve my energy?
Yes.
And does it make sense mathematically?
Well, there it is.
Yeah,
But we're not truly it's it's learning how to run a business.
yeah,
We may have a gift, and we do have gifts. It's not may. We do. Every person, I
everybody has
believe,
a
in the
gift.
world has a gift.
That's right.
You have a gift, but it doesn't mean you learned business skills.
No.
And right, and that is what I had to be kind to myself about. So I want to encourage everyone that something I learned for me is to be gracious to myself
Mm,
and gracious,
give yourself
kind
patience.
in not knowing. So
Right.
kind in saying, Monique, you should have known that. Why would you have
Why would I
known
know
that?
that?
Why
That's
would I
right.
know that? So being kind to myself in business, we there's different parts and of us. We're one being, but there are different portions. And so pay attention. How am I functioning in business? How am I functioning in my social life?
Mm,
How am I functioning spiritually? How am I functioning on my own of myself?
mm,
Because many times we leave out ourselves.
yeah.
So I want you to take a thermometer of that weekly, honey.
Mm,
What does my life, my full circle life look like? In these compartments, these major compartments of me, what
right.
do they look like? Am I being balanced in them? Because my work should bring joy in the other parts as well. So
Yeah.
what I'm doing should bring joy in the other portion. If I'm enjoying my life at work, when I come home, I'm happier.
That's right.
When I was training in the schools, I would ask the teachers immediately, what do you feel when you wake up during the week and you have to come to work? What is your body feeling?
Were they like dread?
Some, some not, some not. And I wanted to know where they felt it.
Mm,
Are you feeling it in your chest? Are you
mm,
feeling it in your head? Or are you feeling it in your stomach?
mm,
Some is in your neck and back. That told me something. What is that saying? There is a stressor that's happening in you, and I'm going to help you. Or how are we going to find out what it is specifically? So your daughter was saying it's the adults that I work with.
sure.
Her stressor was not with the children.
Right.
Her should. So I began to go into those buildings and say to the principals, there is something happening in the atmosphere when the teachers are coming here.
Right.
What can we do to make them feel better,
It's culture.
happier?
Right. It's
Correct.
building
So it's
culture. Yeah.
changing the climate
Yeah.
of this. I'm asking us to do the same. When we wake up in the morning, what are we feeling about the day? And pay attention because your body will say it.
Right.
It may not come in words. Your body will tell us, our bodies will tell us what we're feeling anxious about or what we're not. And then let's tweak that thing.
Mm,
And it's not a if, we do have the power of change. Some things may come quickly, we could change it that moment.
right.
Others, it may come over time. But I always tell everyone, no matter what we're in, truth be told, is temporary.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah. So temporary looks different for different people,
mhm.
but you have to have a mindset that
I
I
was gonna
want
say
to
you've
wake
gotta,
up. Yeah.
because it's all, yeah. Um, I'm going to wake up and have a mindset of gratitude, or I'm going to be positive, or I'm going to hit these things that I hate doing, but I'm going to, that's like we
Yeah.
all have to do things to eat.
We
We call
do.
eat your peas and carrots. Not everybody, you know, not everybody does 100% of things that are joyous, all that,
Right.
of our jobs. But it's like, and so I even try to like schedule those tasks
Yeah.
during moments of the week and the day that um either, like I'll sandwich them in between things that make things more joy so I can be lifted up, or I save a lot of like admin stuff for Sunday night. It's my prep day.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
it's and when I don't do my Sunday nights is usually when I my Mondays are more chaotic. Like I don't
Uh,
feel um organized or
right.
prepared. I feel,
Right.
you know, I feel a little bit more stress. Um,
Yeah.
and so Tuesday really becomes my Monday because my
Uh-oh.
Monday becomes my
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes,
How that happens,
absolutely.
Well,
Yes.
it is what it is. So what is the best piece of advice that you have received for running a bit like that you've learned of this is how you need to scale a business, operate a business, make a better business? What's the best advice you either give or you've received that you implemented?
Uh, no one is going to push my business as hard as I am.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
people will join your vision. They'll join you. They
Right.
Many love what you're doing, but you have to remember you're still the captain
Right.
of the ship, right? And so in that, even though you have employees, you may even have
Yeah. You're
directors.
gonna go down with the ship. They won't.
Yes, yeah. So right, and I don't want them going down,
Right.
but keep my hand. And I don't believe in micromanagement. I don't like that. I
Right.
didn't like it when I was working for people, but you still have to inspect what you expect.
That's right. Yep.
So it's you must still me. As I am the CEO, so I must make sure that things are operating the way they're supposed to for my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the reality of it. That is the reality of it. It's really on me, even though I have people in my life to help share the load, it's still mine.
That's
It's
right.
on me.
That's right.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I got that similar advice, and it's so true. And because if you because you hear it, but when it really hits you, of like, oh no, they really don't. They're not going to work as hard, or they're just not going to care as much, even though they love what they do and they fit. It's just it's not theirs.
Right.
Um, and you are ultimately the the one that's the most accountable for the business, and try to share,
Absolutely.
and helping um, define positions to make sure that there is a shared responsibility, and to give
Mhm.
them the empowerment to be accountable for those
Right.
decisions. Those were some lessons that I've had to learn over, time.
Absolutely. We
uh,
both of us.
those are hard lessons too.
They
But
are. I know.
but
They
I lo-
are.
but I love how you um I might have to like write this down in my own little journal, but having more patience and grace for yourself, to
Yes.
give yourself that gift.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. We're
that
not
is
perfect,
fantastic.
honey. We're not
No,
meant to be. Uh, and an entrepreneur, the CEOs, we're probably harder on ourselves
I
than
know,
anyone,
I know.
right? But that vulnerability is okay, even in your practice or your business.
Yeah, I need to remind. I
Yeah,
had a terrible day on Monday. I came unprepared for something. Chandler knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, and I beat myself up all day. I was so mad at myself because I didn't prepare. And because sometimes you get in front of a client, like we help a client, you only get one chance to make an impression. and I did
Right.
not make a good, I don't think. I didn't use that time. Chandler, I was like, you weren't that bad. But I was like, I could have used the time in front of people in a much more impactful way. And
But
I didn't do that.
but
Um,
Jennifer, you
so I
showed
was
up.
mad at
I bet you
myself.
were, but you showed up. It was the
Yeah,
fact you showed up.
I know.
You
My,
showed
my
up the
bar is so
best
much
that
higher.
you could. Yeah, you showed up the best you
Chandler's
could.
like, I barely showed up because, yeah, we both forgot about a meeting.
Okay,
Uh,
I believe you. See,
I
but
was like, it was
you
terrible,
came
but
and
I was like,
showed
Chandler, you
up.
didn't have to present. I had to present. But he's like, I barely showed up. I was like, but he showed up. He was there. He was on. But I know, I had such a wretched day that day. I had to go and take, I was like, I don't know, it was end of the day. I'm like, I need to go take a walk
Good.
for
Um,
myself. I was
no,
so
really.
mad. I was so mad at myself.
But
Um,
then you say, I'm Jennifer, I mean this.
I
I want
know.
you to say, I'm human.
Look at
What
me.
was my lesson learned for this event? Oh, lesson learned.
Come prepared.
Okay.
I
I'm
got to be
it
more
as
prepared.
best as I can, the best
Yep.
I can. I will have good days and not so good. Every day is good above the earth. Okay. So
Yep.
every day is good. We're breathing. It just means I showed up and the other part of my humanity was just dangling
Yep.
out, just not
I just,
showing like
then
it
I was
should
like, how
be.
do I make other um, impact on and get opportunities in front of that same group and try to the next time make a much better impression. Um,
Right.
and
Hmm.
and again, I could be wrong in reading the room, um, but I know I could have yeah, I could have done better.
All of
Chandler's
us
like,
have
I
been
think you're
there.
being hard on yourself. I was like,
I believe
I don't
it.
know, I don't
Grace,
know.
Jennifer,
I need to give
grace.
myself grace. I know.
Yes,
It's
honey.
one of the
Give
hardest
yourself
things.
grace.
We're the hardest on ourselves.
I know we are. I
Uh,
know.
all right.
And that's why our fun isn't there like we need it to
I
be.
know. I need to do
We
more fun.
I want you to do more fun, love. Yes.
Chandler, we need to do some more fun stuff in the office. We need to do a fun day. I might have to crack open. I've got these like cans of they're not mocktails, they are sober curious drinks that are like infused with cannabis and hemp. I might need to
Now you're
pop
gonna
one
do
open
that
and we all
after
have
a
some
meeting,
fun
girl.
some fun.
After you've met with some people. It's gotta be at the end of the day.
Yes. We might crack that open before,
Okay.
after our last meeting today.
Okay.
Because these guys haven't tried some of this. I've tried some of them. They weren't all that great, but we were. The rest of the team needs to try these
Mhm.
little
Mhm.
tastes. Um, so okay, so if you had to sum up your journey in one word, what word describes your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, sweetie. Faith.
Faith. It's a good. You had it. You had it. You had the vision
It's
and the
faith.
signs.
Yeah.
Mm,
Faith, honey. And faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You're dreaming and hoping for something
mm,
and you know it's there, but it just hasn't come to you yet.
mm.
So the word is yet.
Yep.
It is there. Belongs to you and you will have it. Just keep walking.
Mm.
Just keep waking up
Just
and
keep going.
keep
Move
going. Like you
forward.
said, if it's small, if I do 40 small goals, if I do 40 big ones or 40 small ones,
Right.
even if it's just once a day, it's still, I'm 40 steps ahead of my game than if
That's
I
right.
had have done nothing.
Right. Try something.
Right.
Right.
Try something
Um,
because trying is doing.
that's right.
And when people
It's some
said,
action.
yes, they're
Yeah.
saying, well, I tried, Monique. No, you're doing. Don't just say, don't take try as a small word. When you try, that you're actually doing.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good
So your
reminder.
trying is doing.
Good reminder. Okay. So if we met a year from now, what will we be celebrating? What win for you can we be celebrating?
We will be celebrating a show. We will be celebrating a wellness center. We
Nice.
will be celebrating healing on a massive scale.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Is the
that's what
wellness
we're going to
center
say.
based in Arizona where you
We'll
are?
have, yes, we'll have our first two in our first one in Phoenix and then Dallas.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow. And then where would
Yes,
the show be? Where are you doing the
the
show?
show is going to be all over. I'll tell you, well, if we get back together, I'll tell you more
Yeah.
about that. Yes. Currently, I do have a show called Mind Health Matters,
Mm,
and that is on YouTube, and there are 10 episodes, and we talk about mental health and wellness with different guests. I talk about that with different guests
mm.
and how you can show up for yourself and heal and have less anxiety and less depression and less stress in your life.
Okay. Nice. Very good. Can't wait. We'll have to connect again, and we'll have to tell more
Yes,
about it. Now,
yes,
if we look ahead to your next chapter in your journey, what
yeah.
word describes that chapter?
Um, resilience.
Mm, just keep going.
Yeah,
Pivot
yeah.
and just let it go.
Pivot,
Pivot, pivot.
pivot, and let it go. Pivot and let it go. Or, yeah, resilience that because the resilience from this season is giving me the success for this next chapter I'm in.
Oh, I love it. Those are two great words, faith and resilience. It's like I said, that a lot of our themes are different, but everybody has a different word for their journey. And we
Hmm.
don't get a lot of repeats. Everybody has their unique words. I love it.
Isn't that amazing?
I love it. It's one of the best things about this podcast that we've been doing 160 episodes.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Um well, this was wonderful, Monique. I love our conversation. I could talk to you for hours. I think we have a lot of paths. Our paths are very similar in our
Yes,
journeys.
yes.
Um, but I appreciate you hanging out with us. Before we go, where can people get a hold of you, connect with you, learn more about what you're doing um, in the
Well, my
space? Yeah.
website is Savvy Vision. So that's SAVYVISION.com.
Okay.
And then you can also find me on LinkedIn, Monique Elliott on LinkedIn, and that's with Savvy. So you'll see Savvy when I
Mm-hmm.
pop up, Monique Elliott. And on Instagram, it's Lady Monique Elliott.
Lady Monique. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Well, we will tag you and put all that stuff in the when we launch the podcast, and it'll come out in a few months. So
I'm
we can't wait
excited.
to see the rest of your journey.
If I
Um,
can
but I
keep,
appreciate it. Thank you
yeah, I
so
appreciate
much.
you. I appreciate you and your team. I hear you, team out there. Enjoy. You're doing a great job, love. I
That's
hear you.
right. Oh my God, this is fantastic. But that's a wrap on today's chaos. But the journey doesn't stop here. If you found yourself nodding along or laughing or yelling, say Monique and Jennifer, make sure to subscribe and share and leave us a great review, that 5-star review on Spotify or Apple. You can dig deeper into founder resources and tools and more episodes over at Orange Whip. That is orangewip.com for work in progress. And until next time, stay curious, stay scrappy, and remember, we are all a work in progress. Thanks, guys. See you next week.